Welcome to Academic Web Services Training. I'm your host, David Pinter, and in this session what we're going to be talking about is editing an ebook that has already been published. Here I am inside of Trello, and as you can see, here is the finalized ePub document. But we need to QA it and do some edits to make sure there's no problems with the file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that link and I'm going to save it to my desktop here and hit save. So here it is on the desktop. And now what I want to do is I want to go over into Calibre and then simply just drag it in here into the window like this. And then what happens is if I just start coming over here and I start editing the book, okay, the edits are not going to take place. They're not going to happen. So what I want to do is I need to go over here to convert book again. So I have this selected over here by pressing on this one. I'm going to go over here, and since we've already added the book, there's the edit, the metadata is fine. I just need to now go over to reconvert the book. So I'm going to go like this and make sure up here it's an output format of ePub, and then just hit OK. But what's happening here is while it's converting it and republishing it, it's no longer going to be the one on the desktop. As you can see down here, in the David Pinter folder and then the default Calibre library, what you're going to see now is the file for Grand Canyon University, the name of the book, and then right here is going to be the ePub file that you're now going to use, this one here. So I can basically now take this one that's on the desktop and just take that and just drag it to the trash and get rid of that, because this is the one that when we start editing through here, it'll be actually this file. All right, so let's take a look at that. So if I come over here now and I go to Edit Book, it's going to basically open up the editor for this one here. We want to take a look at that and make sure that our fonts are installed and everything looks okay. Over here to the left side, you can see that all of the chapters are already set up here. We have the style sheet CSS, and we also have the fonts that are already installed for this particular document. So that's great. So now all I want to do is just basically go through this. So I'm going to go on to chapter 1 here. I'm going to double click that, and then I'm going to come down here and open up style sheet. So we have these two tabs that are opened here. So what we're basically doing is we're just taking a look at the document itself and going through and making sure that it looks good. Once published, we want to make sure that we check also for these particular links, that those links are working. And we also want to make sure that when we hover over the top of images that they have both the title and the alt tags installed in the HTML file. So this document here looks pretty good, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but as you can see, it goes right to the end of chapter 1, and then you can just then at that point go through chapter 2 and then test that again. So once you're all done, what you want to do then is then retest it on the ePub reader site. So I'm going to go back over here and go over to the ePub reader. I'm going to come here now and open up the book. It's going to find and look for it. And as you can see, we're not going to go for anything that's on the desktop because I already deleted that one off. I want to make sure we go back to the actual folder that we're using for this editing process. Come back over here, click that, we'll open it up. And then here is the book right here. There's a cover for it. There's the opening. There's some imprint information, and there's the author biographies. You can scroll through that to make sure everything looks good. And then here we go with the chapters. What you want to do is take a look on the left side over here to make sure also that these are working. You can start clicking on sections of this inside of the table of contents. And then again, retest to make sure all of the alt and title tags are working. Want to make sure that these are spaced out nicely through here, all the exercises. And then again, you want to make sure that you do test and check that these links are in fact working and they're the correct ones. So there it is, republishing a published ePub file in Calibre.